40s for our Thursday and Friday. Getting cold again with teens and 30s on the way by the upcoming weekend. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Stay warm. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Happening now at Randy Marion Ford in Statesville.
That's right, folks. We have flipped the calendar. 2024 is here. Happy New Year from Randy Marion Ford Lincoln. Come see us this year for all your car needs, whether it's a new Ford, a new Lincoln, quality pre-owned. Randy Marion Ford in Statesville, we have got you covered. I-77 exit 49B. Look for the spinning car, folks, because that is where the deals are.
RandyMarionFord.com.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you?
The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty is recorded live with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, here's your host, Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Good, the Bad, the Guilty here on WSIC. I am not Sheriff Darren Campbell. I am the stunt double today. I'm Chief Deputy Bill Hamby here in studio with Captain Matt Burleson, or Captain Matt, and one of our special guests today, Sergeant Danny Williams. Danny, we're going to talk all about you today. So we're going to put you on the hot seat today. But want to welcome everybody for tuning in today. Thank everybody again for listening. You are on 100.7 FM here in Statesville, 105.9 everything south here in Iredell County, northern Mecklenburg County. And Matt, it's good to be back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's been a while. Joe, it's good to see you, sir.
Good to see you guys back.
I know, man. It's been a while. Last week we had one of those emergencies that just kind of popped up at the last minute. So thank you for covering for us for that. But
spinning the oldies, that's what you do, right? You know,
absolutely.
Make the call and, hey, Joe, can you do one of those reruns? You know, one of those great big ones where all those people were watching.
We look to see which one had the most views usually, and it's usually not too hard because you guys get a lot of views on your videos on our social feeds.
I looked at the I went back and listened to and watched the numbers when we had Senator Vicky Sawyer here, and I think that was probably one of our larger shows that we've had in quite a while. That was a big one. So again, just want to thank Senator Sawyer for being on. But the reason I'm talking to you today, and Sheriff Campbell is not introing the show, he had some Sheriff's Association business to attend to today, so he will be back with us next week, good Lord willing. But for those of you that are listening to the show that may be new to the show, thank you for tuning in. But Matt, today we were able to use our app.
Yes.
Push notification.
We made that sound. Everybody got that sound? If they got their notifications on your app? Yep. So very important message went out today.
Yes, actually, ladies and gentlemen, again, you would think that scammers would just stop, but apparently they are incessantly pursuing the citizens here of Iredell County. We do have a scam that is currently going around. We've received at least 3 calls today, this afternoon at the sheriff's office for an individual claiming to be Lieutenant Jason Hampton of our civil section. And what's kind of ironic is we do have a Lieutenant Jason Hampton.
He's a big old boy, too.
He's a large man. We've had him on the show before. But this individual that is claiming to be Jason is calling individuals and claiming that they have failed to show for jury duty.
Right. And
there is a current warrant for their arrest. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to call you and tell you that you have a warrant for your arrest. And the next thing that the caller does is advise the people, the victims in this matter, to go and purchase a Walmart card or a Walgreens card. Apparently that's the mechanism they're using this time. Load money onto the cards, anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000. That's kind of been our range today. Once the money is on the cards, you are directed to call the mythical Jason Hampton back.
Or they stay on the phone with you.
They do.
We've had some victims that's come close to in the past where they've called, they pretended to be a person from the sheriff's office, even like said, hey, we're going to go down to the sheriff's office, but then make that detour, go in that store, buy that stuff. Then all the time they're on the phone with the suspect.
Yes. So this time, as Matt was saying, the scam is load the money on the cards, call the mythical scammer back, give them the numbers on the back of the card. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, once you give them the numbers on that card, there's virtually nothing that any law enforcement agency can do to help you recover that money. So please, first of all, we would never do that. The Iredell County Sheriff's Office does not accept money in lieu of a criminal warrant. That's illegal, and we're not going to do that. So if anyone calls a loved one, and says, hey, you've got a warrant, but, Matt, if you put money on this gift card, buddy, we'll let you out of it.
This is your day, right?
Yeah, so
good
please.
Special today. And call us.
Yes, call us. Ask us.
If they're using a name from a sheriff's deputy, someone that you call us, don't just look on the internet and try to see or look on our app and find out if that's a staff member, because that's probably what the bad guy's done.
Exactly. Go ahead, Joe.
Just so everybody knows, say you do have jury duty, but you're unaware and you do miss your jury duty date, what would happen in that sense so people know?
You will receive a notice of jury duty in the mail. Okay. You're going to receive it, and it gives you time out, some time distance, so you can make arrangements to be there. And then I believe it even directs you to call the clerk's office on the Sunday before and see what time you're to report, what courtroom you're to report to. So, there are people that receive it and don't come to jury duty. We go out and talk to those folks. We're not going to call you. We're not going to issue a warrant. The judge may have some things to say to you once we go out and notify you, find you, and bring you to court, but they're not just going to issue a warrant retroactively and arrest you. So, folks, please do us a favor. Go to our Facebook page. We have the information up for those of you that follow us on Facebook. Share that information on your media outlets. It helps us spread our word. If you did not receive an app notification today, Matt, what can they do?
Well, you can download the app. It is free on the App Store, whether it's the Google Play or Apple Store. Just go and look for Iredell County Sheriff's Office, and you'll see our star on a black background. It is free to download. Good information on there. Great little weather app. You've got a lot of good stuff that when we push out important things like this, even good things that we want you to know about, things we're proud of, accomplishments, we put those out, but things that you need to know and you need to know right away, you can get those. And then all of our stories are on there. All of our programs are on there. Everything we've got coming up, it's just an easy way, handheld, go in and get what you need right there.
And it's timely. Because, even though here we are, if you haven't looked at your Facebook page today, if you have one, here we are having to ask you to go look at it about an hour after we've already pushed the notification. So if you do get the app, first thing we do is we never sell your information to anybody. It's our information. We don't sell it. We don't make any money off of it. We want to use this tool to help push out information to our citizens. Secondly, if you receive a notification, or as we lovingly call it, the ding, if you get a push with a ding and it makes your phone go off, that is timely information, up to the minute information that we want you to know to be aware of. So the app is a great thing to have. So if you don't have it, like Maddie said, go to your Google Store, App Store, or is it Google and Apple
Play.
Store? Google Play and Apple Store. In the cloud.
Yes.
The ether. Up there
Yes,
somewhere.
No, it's actually in here, but you can find it.
Yeah.
Or give us a call. We'll
Just
help you find it.
call us and we'll help you find it. Yes, absolutely. But please educate our senior citizens and our folks that may not be as law enforcement savvy as our listening crowd is to these scams, to just be careful about that. So, all right. Well, in the minute that we have left, because Joe's given us the cue card, want to introduce Sergeant Danny Williams. We're going to have him live when we come back. But Danny has quite the story. Danny is the longest-serving law enforcement officer in Iredell County, and I don't want to steal too much of his thunder because I want him to introduce himself when he comes back. But if you come to the Iredell County Sheriff's Office, he is currently the smiling face that you will see at our desk. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in today. We're going to have a great show for you, 100.7 FM, 105.9. And if you want to call in with any questions or talk to Danny, 704-873-1400. We'll be back in about 2 minutes.
With Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the first of two blasts of Arctic air has now arrived, starting out in the upper teens this morning for the farmers and rural spots, starting out in the mid-teens. Cold all day, even with sunshine. We're staying in the 30s for our Wednesday, back down into the teens tonight, getting a little bit warmer as we climb up into the low 40s for our Thursday and Friday, getting cold again with teens and 30s on the way by the upcoming weekend. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Stay warm. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Having performed all over the world, written hit songs, and mentored artists, Rocky Lynn is making another stop here at home, playing at Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. Listen each weekday morning for your chance to win tickets and meet and greet passes. And come hang out with us prior to the show. WSIC will be in front of Kane Center for the Arts from 6 to 7 p.m. Rocky Lynn this Saturday, kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Mooresville Parks and Recreation presents the Hitmen of Country, playing at the Charles Mack Citizen Center Friday, January 19th. Love country music? The Hitmen of Country have toured and recorded with some of the country's greatest artists, like Keith Urban, Trace Adkins, Travis Tritt, and Jason Aldean. For more information, go to visitmooresville.com. That's visitmooresville.com. Birkdale on Ice is still going on through January 28th. Time to lace up your skates and hit the ice. To make sure you can skate when you want, we recommend you making a reservation. For skate session info, including times and pricing, visit birkdalevillage.com. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen each day to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Now more of the good, the bad, and the guilty with Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back, listeners. We are here live on WSIC, here at the Good, the Bad, and the Guilty with Chief Bill and the legend himself, Sergeant Danny Williams over here. So before the break, you had a brief opportunity to introduce this legend. He's known around these parts by many, but it's in a good way. As you said, he's the face of the sheriff's office. So let's have an opportunity. And if you want to call in, you said that, Bill, before we went out.
Yes, sir.
We're live on air, 704-873-1400. Also got Facebook up here with WSIC News. You can follow us on Facebook. Good afternoon, Danny.
Good afternoon. It's good. It's a pleasure to be here.
Mm-hmm.
It's I got to admit, this is a different kind of radio setup than I'm accustomed to. Usually just key the mic in, you talk into it, say,
So
give
so
a 10
Joe
code.
is kind of like your dispatcher.
Right.
Yeah. So Danny, last night was a big night for you and for those of us that were in attendance at the county commissioner meeting. Right. The county commissioners recognized you for your 50 years of service to the citizens of Iredell County.
Yes.
And I learned a lot last night.
I hope. Good.
Yes. Yes. I learned that you, sir, and Matt, I don't even know that you know this. I know that Sergeant Williams is probably the only person in Iredell County to have ever tased Sheriff Campbell.
What? Oh, man.
That's true. At the time, he wasn't my boss.
Right, gotcha.
In fact, he was a young deputy himself.
Mm-hmm.
I was with Troutman Police Department at the time. Weekends were kind of a rowdy type thing sometimes there in Troutman. And we usually, during those years, we had 3 officers, and I primarily worked the night shift. So if anything got into anything, that was me. The calls come to me. Mm-hmm. And we had a little roustabout in one of the local neighborhoods there. So I called for assistance, and 2 other deputies showed up, one of which was currently now Sheriff Darren Campbell. Little did I know at that time that one day he would be my boss. However, we got into this little mix-up with a group of individuals, and we weren't winning. In fact, we were getting ready to be on the losing end of it, and I made the decision to deploy a stun gun. Now, the stun gun of which we carried in those days wasn't the dart shooting type gun. It's one where you had to make contact with the individual before you lit it up, so to speak. And so it was dark. It was night. We all had a hold of somebody. Little did I know, the one I had a hold of by the belt.
Fire flew from his fingertips. That's all I could think. Go ahead.
And I made contact with that stun gun to the back end of a belt, just below the belt, and lit it up. And we're talking, when I did that, 50,000 volts of electricity. I heard the scream, and this individual jumped like a rabbit. It was Darren.
Oh, okay.
It was Darren. Needless to say, I didn't have time to apologize right away.
You were looking for the next one to light up, right?
Well, I
But
was.
you have apologized several times since then.
Most definitely have. In fact, I think it took the individuals whom we were trying to arrest by shock. So it made it easy.
Oh,
It
yeah.
kind of like, okay. So we were able to handcuff them. And
Yeah. I don't think that's a plan of action to go into. Like, let me show you what it's like if I tase my partner here. Then you'll give up.
Yeah.
But I've been there before. I've gotten a little spray in my eyes, and that'll make a believer out of you too.
Yes, it will.
So what a great story! I did not know that.
Yep. So, Danny, you, according to your bio, and here again, I've known you for years as well, but you graduated in
1971 from South Iredell High School. I was a
Viking.
Yes. The comment was made last night. Go Vikings. And of course, back in that day, it was the thing. And in fact, I was in the band.
Oh.
I played trumpet, and so we were at the football games, and had
So
a blast.
coming out of high school, you knew you wanted to be in law enforcement, serve the community?
Well, it was my years in high school, my last 2 years, my junior, senior year. My uncle, William Kreider, he was chief of police in Mount Holly, North Carolina. And he and I had talked several times, and the more we talked, the more my interest started growing. And I was at that point in life to make a decision whether to go into military or go into public service or something of that nature to serve the public. And law enforcement stuck out. That was just it. And so I made that decision to head in that direction. So in 1971, graduated South Iredell, enrolled at Central Piedmont Community College, got my 2-year degree in criminal justice, and when I graduated, I was 20 years old, or almost 20 years old. It was 1973 of May of 1973 that I graduated. September of 73, I turned 20. November of 73, I was sworn in with Statesville Police Department.
Wow.
At
so
20,
you
20
were
years
sworn
old.
at 20 years old.
20 years old.
So, being an instructor, Matt, you and I are both an instructor for a couple BLETs. How long was your BLET, Danny? How many hours?
190 hours.
190 hours. Matt, what is it now we're teaching? Over 700?
Yes. Yeah, 750, 760, 70. Yeah.
That's awesome. So we'll talk more about jobs that you held, Danny, but now you bring up a good point, and that you got my mind thinking. In your career, okay, in the 50 years that you've been a sworn law enforcement officer with us and a couple of the agencies we'll talk about here in a minute, what's the biggest thing that you've seen change as far for law enforcement officers? The technology, what is the biggest thing in your opinion that our listeners might not think of that's changed since when you started to where we are now?
I think the biggest thing, honestly, is technology and education. As we progressed and moved forward from 73, the equipment improved tremendously. The radios became quicker, more. You could hear them better. You could honestly understand your calls more. In those early years, the radios were choppy and staticky. they were okay in short distances. So, but overall, the technology with now you've got in the cars, we can automatically write the citations on the computer.
Yeah.
It prints it out for us. Where then it was longhand writing. Your traffic accident reports you had to do in longhand and do that. Now it's all done by computer. It's technology. And the other thing is the individual officers, their education. It's amazing that the newer generation coming up, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing. I can honestly tell you, you're in good hands. These guys are well trained. The only thing that I think is going to season them, and that's an old term, seasoning an officer, is the experience on the road, knowing how to apply what they've learned. And again, with what I've seen, they're physically in great shape. The demands of the job requires it, and I think we're in good hands.
So kind of echoing what you were talking about earlier about the radios, when you came out of BLET at 20, you went to work for the Statesville Police Department.
Correct.
Tell us about call boxes.
Oh, call boxes. Well, needless to say, walkie-talkies were like, if you got one, you were like, wow, you were right up there. But as a new officer, as a rookie, as I use the term rookie officer, you had to do it the hard way. We had to walk the alleys in downtown Statesville, and the only only communication you had with headquarters was with call boxes. And these are square boxes that had lock doors on them. They were usually out of brass. And you had a key, a special key that unlocked that door. You reached in, picked up a telephone receiver. It automatically rang to what we call headquarters, and that's how you reported in. And
now, did you have like so many minutes between each box? Like if you were on patrol, was that how they kept up with you? Or did you just call in if you needed assistance or information?
No, if you had, in other words, they gave you 10, 15 minutes. If they didn't hear from you at that point, if you were in the operation of alley walking, and if they didn't hear from you, they either one sent a car to check on you, or two, they'd start making those calls to the call boxes and see if you could pick them up.
Wow. So what happened if you didn't pick them up? They were coming. They were coming to look for you.
Oh, they sent the car out.
So now, if you took someone into custody, let's say that you made an enforcement action and you took someone into custody, would you have to take them to the call box and wait for a car to come get them, or did you walk them to the PD, or how did that work?
Oh Lord, no, we didn't walk to the PD. No, we had to get them to the closest call box, and that's where we notified them. Now the PD again wasn't that far away. But when you're talking about physically walking
with
from
someone
downtown
in custody,
to the office, it was not good.
Now, was the police department located where it is now in that building, or was it somewhere else in town?
It's in that building now.
Okay.
Yeah, the building was relatively new when I started. It was like in the late 60s, I think, when that building was built.
So you worked for Statesville?
I did.
And then you finished your bachelor's degree?
I did. In 1979, graduated from Pfeiffer University. And just prior to that, in 78, I obtained my advanced law enforcement certificate, which we know that's the top honor.
Takes a lot of years to do that. Yep, a lot of time.
And then you went to work for?
Troutman PD.
Troutman PD. And at Troutman PD, tell us about when you started there.
Okay. When I started Troutman, there was just three of us. It was Chief Wayne Mills.
Yeah.
Johnny Sutphin, and myself.
Wow.
And so between Chief Mills being the chief, he did the day shift, and then Johnny and myself worked. I chose the nights, and he worked days. We rotated some.
That's excellent. Now, we're fixing to go to a break because Joe's fixing to give me the 30-second card here. So I just want listeners to go ahead and prep themselves for the vision about what I'm going to say. There was a picture you showed me not too long ago, there's Joe with 30 seconds, of you in a cowboy hat in Troutman.
Yes.
So when we come back, we'll talk about Troutman, talk about your job there, and then how you came to work for us here at the Sheriff's Office.
Okay, sounds good.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to call in, have any questions, or want to talk to Danny, 704-873-1400. Be back in about 2 minutes.
right here. The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty with Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the first of two blasts of Arctic air has now arrived, starting out in the upper teens this morning for the farmers and rural spots, starting out in the mid-teens. Cold all day, even with sunshine. We're staying in the 30s for our Wednesday, back down into the teens tonight, getting a little bit warmer as we climb up into the low 40s for our Thursday and Friday, getting cold again with teens and 30s on the way by the upcoming weekend. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Stay warm. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed for a limited time. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code KIND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Cold weather is here, but that doesn't mean it has to be cold inside. At G&B Energy, we provide clean and efficient propane to heat your water heater, warm your home, and cook your meals, even when the power's out. We are a family-owned and North Carolina-grown business known for fair prices and expert service. Visit G&B Energy today on Intercraft Drive in Statesville or gnbenergy.com. G&B Energy, home of the $480 Renai tankless water heater. Restrictions apply.
It's the Good, the Bad, and the Guilty with Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back, everyone. Joe's always quick on that cue. That song always gets me right there. That sneaking up on you.
That's Alfred Hitchcock.
That's what I was thinking. It's that little hairs on the back of your neck.
That's Danny's music with his cowboy hat on.
Well, we were going down memory lane. We were talking about some times. Guys, we're here with Sergeant Danny Williams, a 50-plus year veteran of law enforcement. He's the face I see every morning coming into the office when he always opens the door for me with a smile. So it's good to have him here talking about his retirement, talking about his extensive years of service. We're live on Facebook, WSIC News, 873-1400 if you want to call in. I hadn't got a chance to shake your hand. Thank you for all you've done for the community and for us at the office. So I think the memory lane we were going down, Chief had us in Troutman. So I was listening to you and at night shift and a chief and Johnny Suffin, the other officers. So take it away.
Yeah, it was just the three of us. And every year there was, I guess, a program that they had sponsored by one of the local clubs in the area called Rodeo Days. And Rodeo Days, the chief got it cleared that we were full dressed in cowboy outfit with hats, with 6 irons. I mean, 6 guns. You know, it was amazing, and we got a lot of attention from that. And we literally would ride our horses through the fairgrounds. That's where everything was taking place, while on patrol. And so that was my experience as a, so to speak, Texan lawman,
cowboy,
but in Troutman.
So, Danny, just for you, in case you didn't know, we've gone from your horse to Matt's golf cart.
Yes.
Now when we're at the fair.
Exactly right. Same patrol, but I don't have the hat. I don't think I could pull the hat off.
No, you couldn't.
No, I couldn't pull the hat off.
Yeah, well, no, we'd pull it off of you
exactly.
if you had one. So, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So, Danny, how long did you work for Troutman PD?
I was with Troutman PD 13 years.
And you were, I don't think that we ever told our listeners, how long were you with Statesville PD?
I was with them 12 years.
Okay. So there was a unique benefit at the time with Troutman PD being dual sworn. You want to explain that to our listeners?
Right. As Troutman officers, we, as a small department, we were double sworn with the county so that we could respond, or the county could respond, as they do and have, to assist in the calls. And depending on the call volume, it worked really well hand in hand either way. So all of us at that time were double sworn to where we could transition from one area to the next. So we didn't have jurisdictional lines.
Right.
And the cooperation is amazing because we helped each other. We were right there.
And they tased each other from time
and
to time.
And tased each other. Yeah, but for some reason, that word got out pretty quick. There was a trooper. I don't know if I better tell that one either.
Statute of limitations, baby.
There was. He kind of accidentally. It was one of those things I didn't know at the time that would travel through wet clothing. But the trooper, he had an individual stopped who was they were in an altercation, and I had this bright idea. I said, I'll take care of this one. And I got on the right side of the individual. The trooper had the left side. And I broke out the stun gun. I lit this guy up. But the problem was it went through because he was wet from the dew and the rain. It went through him and ended up with the trooper. He let me know real quick.
Joe, let this be a lesson. Don't be around Danny if he's got a taser or a stun gun, buddy.
Let it be a lesson to the bad guys out there. Just don't fight the police.
That's exactly right. So Danny, let's move you on through your career. So at some point in time, you decided to leave law enforcement full time.
I did.
You were still sworn with the sheriff's office.
I was.
So you were still working. So you went into the corporate world, worked there a little bit.
Right.
And just got to missing us, didn't you?
I did. I started to realize after a couple of years in the corporate business and everything that something was missing in my life. In my life, in all of my early years from the age 20 on up to that point, it was service related, service to the people, being able to make contact, talk to everyone, make friends and neighbors, everything. It was just like, wow, where'd all this go? And I said, this wasn't for me.
Well, when it's in your blood and it's in your family. During the break, we talked about your daughters and your wife, and it's a family tradition, I guess you'd say. They're all in service after your footsteps as well, in detention, law enforcement, nursing, those other helping careers.
Right. They are. My better half, and I will say that up front, honey. I hope you heard that.
Joe, make sure this is recorded so you get points.
She's with Davie County Sheriff's Office as a detention officer. So I don't dare backtalk her, and heaven forbid if I break out a stun gun at home.
No kidding. I'd like to see that one go back and forth, the 2 stun guns.
Because she's gone through that class and she can return.
Yeah. She knows how to give it back.
Then my oldest daughter, Ashley, she is supervisor in Statesville PD over their telecommunications as well as their records division. And so she says she's following in Dad's footsteps. I don't know.
Man, she got a lot of footsteps to put down, brother.
Then my next daughter, the middle daughter, Jessica, she is a CNA with one of the local nursing homes. And then she with the potential to moving on to upgrading to as an LPN.
Right.
And my youngest daughter, Victoria, she is an LPN at the same nursing home, and so they're all kind of in this service-related, help the people type thing, and it makes me proud to see that they're ongoing with that.
So that was a decision maybe to bring you back into the fold, and you came back to work with the sheriff's office. So
Exactly.
How did you come back into the role that you're in now, or?
Not exactly. I
Okay.
started back in. In fact, talked to at that time Major Todd Carver about coming back in as an active reserve. All we had to do was just get my paperwork back in place, and he said, "Great." He said, "That sounds good." And so you volunteered so many hours per month as a reserve officer to fill in where we were short. And so I did that for like 2-3 months. Then as luck had it, and fortunately my way, the front desk position became available, and I was asked, would I be interested? There was no hesitation. It was right away, yes, I will do this. And I've been there ever since. So it's been actually over 7 years into the 8th year of that now.
And Matt, I'm going to brag on Danny just a little bit here, okay? When Danny took that position, it was just like, and I'll use the cowboy, it was just like he was back in the saddle. And where my office is now, I get to hear a lot of what goes on up front now with Danny and our staff that works up front, and to hear him be able to verbally de-escalate very agitated people that come in rarely, but when they do, they're upset over something or they don't understand something, and to listen, and all you'll hear is, "Now, ma'am," "Now, sir." You'll hear that voice, and next thing you know, you don't hear the loud voice anymore because they're coming down. And Danny's been able to de-escalate them and make them happy. The amount of education that he has, the knowledge that he has, has paid dividends for our agency, paid dividends for Danny. He got promoted to sergeant because he did such a wonderful job. So he's been a great asset to the office, and we're going to miss him. In fact, I was tasked with trying to find somebody to take his place. Yeah. And I literally went, "Sheriff, yes, there might be a body there, but it won't be a Danny there."
Well, that picture is in the article here, too, of these young ladies he's kept happy. They're running that front office. They've got a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
And you're right. When someone walks through the door, maybe at the worst part of their day or life, and they are greeted with that uniform presence, and just the telephone calls that come in, those victims of people trying to determine if they're getting taken advantage of. You're doing reports. You're doing lots of paperwork and lots of other stuff, handling phone calls, and you don't get that excited. I've seen it a time or two, but you'll come back to us and say, "I'm glad he's gone."
Yeah, it's I had one of our folks, Stephanie, do average. I have to turn in a monthly report on what I do on the desk, and throughout my service time there, on the average, phone calls, just the phone that rings for me. Now the other ladies pick up the phone as well. But the phone calls that I answer, it averages, according to what she told me, 2,000 phone calls a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm gonna make him blush, Matt. So watch this. Danny has this mythical power. Well, I call it the Danny magic. He is so good with folks. And all kidding aside, Danny, I ain't bragging on you, but you will have folks bring him cookies.
Oh yeah.
And cakes.
Yep.
And pies. And had one lady send him roses one time. I mean, the man's got it going on.
I even actually got balloons one time. I just couldn't believe it. I said, "Okay,
Well, Danny, we do appreciate you. You've been a blessing and asset to our agency and to all the people here in Iredell County. Someone that's worked in this field for over 50 years. Blessed to get to know you. Glad you've been a friend of mine. I get to call you a friend of mine. So when we come back, hopefully we have Captain Julie Wyatt with us. She's going to be in here. And Maddie, we're going to transition Danny over and bring Julie in and talk about our Youth Athletic League. Yeah.
Outstanding.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for listening. Give us a call, 704-873-1400, and be back in about 2 minutes.
go anywhere. We'll have more of the good, the bad, and the guilty coming up right after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, the first of two blasts of Arctic air has now arrived, starting out in the upper teens this morning for the farmers and rural spots, starting out in the mid-teens. Cold all day, even with sunshine. We're staying in the 30s for our Wednesday, back down into the teens tonight, getting a little bit warmer as we climb up into the low 40s for our Thursday and Friday, getting cold again with teens and 30s on the way by the upcoming weekend. And that's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Stay warm. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Having performed all over the world, written hit songs, and mentored artists, Rocky Lynn is making another stop here at home, playing at Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. Listen each weekday morning for your chance to win tickets and meet and greet passes. And come hang out with us prior to the show. WSIC will be in front of Kane Center for the Arts from 6 to 7 p.m. Rocky Lynn this Saturday, kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Mooresville Parks and Recreation presents the Hitmen of Country, playing at the Charles Mack Citizen Center Friday, January 19th. Love country music? The Hitmen of Country have toured and recorded with some of the country's greatest artists, like Keith Urban, Trace Adkins, Travis Tritt, and Jason Aldean. For more information, go to visitmooresville.com. That's visitmooresville.com. Birkdale on Ice is still going on through January 28th. Time to lace up your skates and hit the ice. To make sure you can skate when you want, we recommend you making a reservation. For skate session info, including times and pricing, visit birkdalevillage.com. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen each day to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The good, the bad, and the guilty continues now. Here's your host, Iredell County Sheriff Darren Campbell on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for staying tuned in with us here today on WSIC, The Good, the Bad, and the Guilty. My name is Bill Hamby, a Chief Deputy for the Sheriff's Office. I got Captain Matt, Danny Williams, Sergeant Danny Williams, and joining this motley crew this afternoon, I have Captain Julie Wyatt, who, amongst her other duties at the Sheriff's Office, is one of the co-coordinators, a former coach, and one of the contact people for the Sheriff's Youth Athletic League. Yes. So thank you, Julie, for coming in this afternoon.
Sure.
So the reason that we're talking about this is because sign-ups are open.
Opened yesterday.
Why don't you tell us about our volleyball league?
So we have the sign-ups that started yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got over
80
people.
Over 80 already, which is amazing.
Yeah, in one day.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
I can't ever remember the age. I
Right.
think it's 9 to 16.
9 to 15.
9 to 15. It's a good time. It's every Saturday in April, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple in May.
Yeah, practices will start Monday, March 4th. And for those of you that may be new to this concept, this is our 10th year that Sheriff Campbell has made this a priority for us to be in the community, to have our community members interacting with our deputies and our staff members, a lot of whom coach. They have their teams. If not, we're there cheering and pulling for our kids all across the county. Matt, I know you've been there several times.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of family members. There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of competition too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I talked to one of the coaches the other day, Madison Sharp. We coached before, and he's like, "Man, I don't want to think about volleyball." But I told him girls were going to have fun, and we had fun. But they were serious, so being a coach, you don't really have to have the the knowledge or expertise to coach. Just got to be willing to have some fun with some kids.
Yep.
And that's what a lot of our deputies have done. A lot of school resource officers have done it. You know, our office staff personnel coming out there and seeing the fun and the excitement. And you know, it's a cool thing, and it's no cost to these girls and boys. You know, anybody that wants to play.
This is absolutely
it's co-ed. Yep. So it's no cost to them. They got cool shirts, like I said, cool people to be around. It's an all-day thing.
Yep.
I mean, it's a long day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Julie was out there pretty much every Saturday. From start to finish.
Put the nets up, take them down. We're usually there at about 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
So your day starts about 6, though.
Yeah.
Now everybody else's, depending on when they play, normally starts about 8 o'clock.
The game started at 8. Yeah.
Yep. So Julie, you were mentioning the dates. I found them on our flyer. So for those of you that are listening, it's April 6th, April 13th, April 20th, April 27th, May 4th. We'll skip Mother's Day weekend, and then our tournament will be held on Saturday, May 18th.
Yes.
This is at Statesville High School.
Statesville High School.
Yep. So
try to be central to most people.
Yeah, and Dr. James has been great with the facilities as well, and Mr.
Dr.
Parker
James,
out
Mr.
there.
Parker, yes.
Because there's not that many gyms. You'd think there's gyms everywhere, but a lot of these older schools, elementary schools, even middle schools don't have gyms that are that facilitate this type of practice and this type of play. And so I know we've had facilities we've used at Monticello and Ebenezer in the past, and Dr. James has been, hey, great, you guys have your practices, and that's part of what you guys do as a coordinator is set up these teams, help them set up the practices,
we try
get
to
those
find
brackets
the
and
gyms
stuff
for
like
'em.
that.
Yeah.
So you guys do a good
Getting
job
those
with that.
brackets is very nerve-wracking. Because you got people that want to be on the same team.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll apologize in advance if that doesn't happen.
Right,
But
right.
when you got, I don't know how many
Well,
we had last year, 250
over
or more?
300.
Well, yeah,
Right.
we were
30
we were,
teams,
yeah,
300.
we were
Yep.
over 300, and what's been amazing is just to kind of my little bit portion that I play in this production.
Head cheerleader.
Yeah, well, that too. Is we were going to be close to 400, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then it shut us down for a year, and then we started it back up, and some other organizations were doing some other stuff. So that first year we weren't as big as we were. Last year we were over 300. With having 80 people sign up on the first day,
I'm scared.
We're as our
might have to
listeners,
coach.
as our listeners know, Sheriff Campbell is not going to turn anyone away. So we may have to have the fire marshal come and check the attendance in the gym because it's going to be a packed house. But that just makes it better.
Yeah.
That just makes it more fun, more exciting.
And it's
for the
open
kids.
to anyone in Iredell County. We've had a couple other friends and family members from outside the county. They're welcome to. But just so you know, Captain Julie, those invitations went out today to all of our private schools, all of our public schools. They're in all of them. All the school resource
So
officers.
you're coaching a team too, Matt?
Well, I just want to make sure that there's enough people to be.
And if you have kids that are homeschooled,
Yes.
it's open.
You
It's
don't have to be
open
in
to
a school,
any
yep.
child between 9 and 15 in Iredell County.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We will plug you in. We will make space for you. We'd love to have you come. And Maddie, one of the things that the sheriff also does, in addition to just volleyball, there's life lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Julie, you or Matt, Julie, you've coached. Kind of tell us. At practice is practice, but there's also a lesson. There's a life lesson involved in this as well.
Yeah, and I think for the kids, it builds up their confidence. It lets them, introduce to other people, to where people they probably would have never met had it not been for volleyball. We do try to talk to them, and
Teamwork, sportsmanship, goodwill.
And everyone plays. You can be a star linebacker, whatever there's net backer. It doesn't matter.
This is volleyball, Matt, not football.
I know, but I'm trying. I don't know these things. I know
Joe,
they're back behind the net.
Bless him. Edit that out.
Isn't
Joe.
there a tall guy up at the net? Something maybe. Anyway, the little short guys get to play too. So
made you feel right at home.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't know how to play, it's okay.
Yes, that's what's good.
We'll figure it out, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah, and here again, ladies and gentlemen, it's free to participate for your child, so it's free, and then the games are free. It doesn't cost you anything to get in. A lot of this is paid for with dope dealer money and some other grants. They're going to get a T-shirt, a team T-shirt. They're going to get like as Julie, as you were saying, meet new people, have new friends.
Yeah, they get medals.
There's medals if the teams make it to the medal round. There's medals, and it is just amazing on Saturday mornings to go to the gym over at Statesville High School, and I love watching our varsity teams play. But watching the little JV kids, the
they're
little ones,
they're the more competitive.
Yes.
they get slam after it now. Don't let one miss a ball. Oh, mama, it is ugly. I mean, they get fired up. So, yeah. So, Matt, tell us how people can sign up, or Julie, tell us how people can sign their child up for this.
Well, I'm sure they can go on the app.
They can go on the app. That's exactly right. It's everywhere, guys. Yes, you can find it on the app. You can find it on our Facebook. You can call us. We'll direct you there. We've got our own email site for it. But actually, what helps us is if you would go on our website, which if you're on the app or on Facebook, there's a link to the website. When you click on that link, it's step by step. It fills it all out, and it sends you an email that you've been accepted or you're part of. There's no, you're not trying out for it. It's just when you get the email that you're in, then you're in. And
now,
then
Matt,
these guys get the
you
email.
just said something very important because last day we had some folks. Well, I called and I didn't get an email. If you don't get an email, if you have signed up your child or they signed up with your permission, and you have not received an email, you are not officially registered yet.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would say give it a day when you register, and but
Now,
definitely call us.
Yes, thank you, Julie. That's where I was going. If you register your child or kids register with permission, and you haven't heard or get an email back from us, please call us, and we'll see what the problem was. Maybe we didn't click a button or something, and we'll get you registered because we don't want any children to miss out just because of a computer glitch or something. So, but it is a good time. So I'm tickled to death that we get to do that again this year. So, Julie, thank you for stopping by.
Sure.
Thank you for talking to us about it, and look forward to seeing you there every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Now, Julie's the one. If you find Julie, there'll be Chick-fil-A. There'll be Daylight Donuts.
Big T.
Great big tea.
There'll be a couple drinks.
Energy
drinks.
So, if you're interested, please give us a call. So, Matt. To wrap up today's show, been a great show. Mr. Sheriff Campbell, wish he was here, but we know he's out attending to Sheriff Association business. Be back next week. So just kind of want to let our listeners kind of know kind of what we're doing. We got a few press releases to bring it home. So you want to go ahead with one or two?
Well, you remember we had the churches backing us up too. Several things that happened during our Law Enforcement Appreciation Week. We talked about those guys. Calvary Chapel, Beulah Baptists are always good to us. Had a couple of Girl Scout troops, had some nice little Girl Scouts come in. I know the detectives are really nice and great about helping with that. So, guys, we're open. Our office is open for tours coming in. If you've got groups that want to come in and do that, that's really important to know that we're here as your sheriff's office, as your community. So,
and you're talking about our Girl Scout troops. Back when I was in Cub Scouts, we had either 2 or 3 numbers. Pack 51 or 169 or whatever. This Girl Scout troop is 13241.
Yes,
they getting after it. That's a whole bunch of numbers on a little bitty arm to go on that uniform. So
and that was in
that's pretty
Troutman.
cool.
That was in Troutman that far back. So quite a few there.
Yes.
Yes. So we'll just take the first one we got here, Mr. Timmy Ray Sharp. He's a well-known frequent flyer we've seen before from Hobbs Lane, 52 years old. Possession with intent to sell and deliver, felony maintaining, dwelling for controlled substance, misdemeanor possession of marijuana, and lots of good drug charges there. 18.65 grams of methamphetamine by those great guys in the Aggressive Criminal Enforcement Team, the ACE team, as well as narcotics, executing that search warrant down there in Mooresville off 150 Hobbs Lane.
And here again, that one came in through the
app, exactly right.
Being able to give us information.
Yep. Anytime you got that information for us, you give that to us, and we'll take care of it. And we were sitting in the restaurant the other day, and had a community member come over, and I remember what he said because I was with the ACE team, one of the deputies and the lieutenant, and it was a piece of paper. Hey, who wants this? And it was like, what is it? And it was a drug. They were reaching for it, so. Of course, Madison got that one too. But right after lunch, he went to go check on something on, I think, a Wall Street or whatever. So, guys, we're taking your tips, we're taking your information, and we're putting it to good work. And we're taking their money, and we're making sure we're outfitting kids with volleyball and getting other things done with
Absolutely.
it. So,
absolutely.
Felony B&E, misdemeanor attempt to B&E motor vehicle here on. Oh, we're running out of time. Here comes the music.
Look at it on our Facebook page.
Yes, exactly. Tune into our social media. Get that ding on your app. So,
Danny, thank you for coming today. Julie, thank you for popping in, giving us a little bit of update on volleyball. Appreciate your time.
Sure.
Joe, good to see you again, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for listening to The Good, the Bad, the Guilty, and we will see you next week on Wednesday.
the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.